All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And I did not think I would be doing 2 updates in one day. Now, I'm getting this video out kind of late on Monday, but I did want to get it out there and posted. Because today there has been a lot of talk about Supergirl and why it did not grab the female audience. Like I said in my last video, it was males, basically 25 to up to around 49 or so, that went to see this film. I'm actually outside those demographics. I did turn 50 this year, and so I'm a little bit outside those demographics, but I am a DC fan, so no matter what, I'm going to go see the film, but that isn't the general audience. And the reason it didn't grab girls, and I'm going to talk about this, and I actually posted a video about this last week, that they're not allowing superheroes to be superheroes. The last successful female-led superhero film was Wonder Woman. And here's why. I'm going to talk about why Wonder Woman succeeded and why Supergirl failed. Here's where Wonder Woman succeeded. I actually got to see Wonder Woman 2 weeks early. It was about 2, maybe 3 weeks early. And at the time, they were building up, and it was like the 4th or 5th DC movie. I can't remember what it was. And I was lucky enough to see it super early. And I was worried going in because I didn't know Patty Jenkins. I didn't know how she was going to direct or what the movie was going to be. And there's always this fear that the films aren't going to be good. And I will tell you that as a child, I grew up with Christopher Reeve as Superman. And as a child, there was something magical about Superman 1 and 2 when I would see Christopher Reeve as Superman. It brought up these feelings as a child. I loved those movies. I was borderline infatuated with those movies. I had the cards, I had posters, I had toys. I was really into Superman as a kid. I actually have, I've been meaning to show it on my channel, I actually have something signed by Christopher Reeve that I got back in the 80s when I wrote to him. It was a school project we did. And I've always loved Superman. I have, since a child. And there was a feeling I got when I saw those movies. I was never able to get that feeling back, that exact feeling, until I saw Wonder Woman. There is one particular scene in Wonder Woman that the studio actually tried to have nixed from the film, but Patty Jenkins fought to the end to make sure it made it into the film. It was the no man's land scene. That scene, to this day, gives me chills when I watch it. That scene brings me almost to tears when I watch it, because Gal Gadot in that scene is Wonder Woman. Her sacrifice. These guys wanted to leave, and Steve Trevor is telling her, we can't save everybody. It's a war. We can't save everybody. We need to continue on with our mission. And that's when the sound goes silent. She takes off her stuff, and she has her Wonder Woman costume underneath. It's the first time anybody's seen her as Wonder Woman here. She goes out on that battlefield. The music, the epicness of that scene, the heroics that she does. It's so selfless. It's heroic. It's amazing. This is what is missing from female superhero films. So what does Warner Brother do when they start marketing Supergirl? Go back and look at some of the marketing, especially towards the end, where they would have these magazine outlets post stills from the film. One is where she looks miserable. She's like sitting in a doorway. She's got this look on her face like she's defeated. And they chose to portray a story that was not well received when it came out. This Woman of Tomorrow story, where she was a drunk and upset that her people had been destroyed. And it was haunting her. That is the story that they decided to tell. And what's crazy about Supergirl is, first of all, like I said, the marketing was just terrible. There was nothing to get you excited. There was nothing to make you think that she was Supergirl. Like I said, the DCU has a problem with allowing their superheroes to be super. Just like in Supergirl, when Superman meets Kara, and he's a buffoon. He's not acting like Superman. He's acting like a stupid Clark Kent. The DCU has a problem with portraying their heroes as heroes. And the biggest problem I had with Supergirl, and I've talked about this, if you don't want spoilers about Supergirl, leave the video now because I'm going to talk about it. The thing that really irritated me, I rather enjoyed most of the movie up until the end when this happened. The whole movie was about her overcoming, all the tragedy that had happened to her. And her parents wanted to make sure that when she was sent to Earth, that she didn't become like her cousin, who was supposed to be a conqueror of people. And they doubled down on that, which is a huge mistake. Again, there's the amount of twisting that they're doing with the lore in the DCU is just mind-boggling. But they made sure that you understood that the whole theme of the film was about her becoming a good person. And that by the end she would be good. Only to turn around at the very end and kill the villain in cold blood. In cold blood. He was already defeated. He was not a threat. He's on the ground. And Supergirl takes Ruthie's sword, stabs him in the stomach, and then stabs him right through the throat. I was shocked. So you want to know why they're not getting the girls? Who wants to look up to that person as a role model? This is the problem. For some reason, James Gunn really has this need to twist these characters to where they're not heroes. You know what we at least had in the DCEU? Batman was still a hero, even though he killed, and it was always justified because people were shooting at him or trying to kill him. You had Superman, who had no choice but to snap Zod's neck because he was about to kill a family. And he did plenty of heroics in Superman. There are plenty of scenes where he is being the stoic hero. Superman. He did it long before he ever even got the costume. He did it wherever he went when he was trying to find himself in the film. It was amazing. Amazing. And you had Wonder Woman and her film and her selflessness in that no man's land scene. You have nothing like that in this DCU. You don't have that hope. They keep saying they made Superman that he's a good person. You could be a good person, but that doesn't make you Superman. It's not punk rock, like they said. There's good men out there, plenty of them. The one thing he was not was super. They didn't make him Superman. And what they did to him in Supergirl is made him a buffoon. You might be able to get away with that as Clark Kent. You can't get away with it as Superman. These characters are not allowed to be super. So with Supergirl, no one's going to look up to this version of the character. The character who is told to be good throughout the whole film. It was the whole theme of the film. The entire theme of the film. To only have her kill in cold blood the villain. It's not appropriate for kids. You can't bring in the kid audience. The females don't want to see it because the character and the promotional materials made her look like a slog. My girls have had no desire. They all saw Superman last year just out of curiosity. Nobody has interest. None of my kids, and I have 4 girls, have an interest in what they're doing with the DCU. This movie completely turned everybody off. My wife won't even go see it. And my wife was with me when we saw Wonder Woman. We both walked out of there. Like, that feeling I got after seeing Wonder Woman, like I said, I hadn't had that feeling since I was a kid. I loved Man of Steel. I loved Batman versus Superman. But I still didn't get that same superhero feeling that I got from when I was a kid. I got that with Wonder Woman. I got it. It had been captured again. It was amazing. You have nothing like that in Supergirl. There is nothing for people to look up to. There's nothing good in the film. She's not a good role model. It's not a good message. If they would have followed the message from the comic and followed through with it, I would have liked this movie a lot more. But I was shocked when she killed him. I literally was like, what the? Because that is not what happened in the comic. Why they had to change that part of the story, it's a seriously questionable choice of a change. Why would you do that? Why? You are ruining these heroes. That is what is happening. This is why Supergirl did not bring in the audience. And they won't bring in the audience until they allow their heroes to be super. All right, guys. I will be back tomorrow with a regular DC update because the Supergirl numbers are even worse than what we had heard at the beginning of the day. So I'll be covering that in tomorrow's video, and it's not by a small amount. All right, guys, we will see you on the next video.